Good morning, day 56 of hiking the Appalachian Trail in 100 days, and got a little group of visitors hiking for the next 2 days. My girlfriend Alexis, my Aunt Emily, and my mom in front there. So honestly, I think they did pretty well this morning in terms of getting packed up. Weren't super slow, so that was good. And been hiking close to 2 hours now and going pretty well. We had a pretty decent climb of I think over 1,000 feet, so did well, got up there, had some little views, and we're headed back down for the next few miles, I think. So there's definitely been some berries along the trail, but today there's been a lot, mostly blackberries here. There's a lot that aren't ripe yet, but there's also a lot that are ripe. So just stopping a little bit here and there to get some blackberries, and at least for me, I can stop all I want and easily catch up to the group. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. All right, so we're just over halfway for the day. How's it going, Mom?
It's going great.
How are your feet?
My feet are fine. We're just passing through the wildfire area from earlier this season.
Alexis, how are you doing?
Amazing.
Emmy?
Woo! Love it!
We're in this section now that has some burned trees here, and we were talking to a guy last night that said it just happened earlier this year, and I think it's about an 8-mile section along the AT that had some burn, and so they actually had to shuttle some SOBOs earlier on in the season around this area because the fires were still going on a little bit. So definitely can smell it a little bit too, but there are some plants growing back and stuff like that already, which is pretty good to see. All right, so we're making our way up the last big climb of the day. Got about a mile to the top where we'll get to Mary's Rock, so that should be some nice views. It did drizzle a little bit earlier, and it was also thundering a fair bit, but didn't get too wet. And then once we get to the top here, it'll be just over a mile to the campsite, but that should be pretty flat and easy. At the top of Mary's Rock here, pretty awesome views out into Luray there, down, and see some kind of clouds in the mountains over there and down in the valley there. So that's been pretty cool, and really enjoyed this view. It's pretty steep down here as well, which is nice. So it's a little bit before 5:30 now, and I have just about a mile to go to the campsite. I am going ahead of the rest of the group the last 1.3 miles to the campsite because they were just kind of struggling the last few miles, so it'll probably be like 6 o'clock before they get there, and I figured I could go down the side trail to the spring and filter some water and kind of save some time, and so that when they get to the campsite we have lots of water that we can use for dinner and the evening and everything. So you know, I think 17 and a half was like a big day for the group, so which is fine because, you know, they don't all hike and train much, so they're generally physically fit, but not trained in the sense that they can do this kind of thing with a pack. So it's definitely a big day for them, and I don't think we're gonna do 22 and a half tomorrow. Probably gonna do either 11 to the next hut or maybe like 14 and a half or something in that ballpark, which gets us to the Big Meadows campground, I think, which you have to pay like a little bit for a campsite, but that's fine. I think we might try to go there. We'll see. In the tent for the night, we did 17.5 miles today and are at the Bird's Nest number 3 shelter. We are amending the plan. Gonna do just under 15 miles tomorrow and stay at a campground, the Big Meadows campground. So hopefully that's a little bit easier for everyone in the group, which I think it will be. And definitely moved slower today, but that's certainly fine. I enjoyed hanging out with my family and friends, and I'm very grateful that they came to join me.